Hey guys, and welcome to Bake with Shivesh. In this episode, I'm sharing the recipe of my absolute favorite frosting, which is the chocolate fudge frosting. It's a beautiful cross between a chocolate ganache and a chocolate buttercream frosting, and I love it for too many reasons. First being, it's very simple to put together and is much more stable than a buttercream frosting. And two, you get double the chocolate. So there's chocolate and cocoa powder, and it's definitely much yummier than a chocolate buttercream. Let's get started. So I'm starting with half a cup of butter, which is 113 grams. I'm using regular salted butter here. The only thing that you need to keep in mind is that your butter should be softened, which means it shouldn't be too hard or too cold or completely melted. Using softened butter ensures your frosting is super smooth and fluffy. Now into the softened butter, I'll sift in cocoa powder and icing sugar. Sifting is important because both cocoa powder and icing sugar tend to have lumps if they're sitting out for too long. Also, for all your frostings, use a powdered or an icing sugar. Using any other kind of sugar will give your frosting an unwanted crunch. Now, using my electric mixer, I'll beat the butter, sugar and cocoa powder together at high speed until I get a fluffy and light mixture. If you don't have an electric mixer, you could simply do this with a hand whisk. I'm also adding in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and I'll beat it in as well. Alright, so this looks and tastes very good. So what you essentially have right now is a chocolate buttercream frosting. Now into this, I'll be adding in cream and chocolate. So I'm adding equal parts of cream and chocolate, which is half cup of each. For my chocolate fudge frosting, I'll be using fresh cream today. If you want, you could also use heavy cream, but a fresh cream works equally fine. What I'll be doing is I'll be heating it in the microwave for about 30 seconds to make it slightly warm before I add it in. One tip that I'd like to share here is to use the best quality chocolate that you can get your hands on. I'll be using a dark chocolate. I'll chop it roughly, melt it in the microwave before I add it to my frosting. So I've chopped my chocolate. Now I'll melt it in the microwave and measure half a cup of that. So I've also added in the chocolate. Now what I do is I let the melted chocolate cool slightly before I add it in. And now to give it one final mix before we're ready to go. So this is what the texture of the frosting looks like right now. Looks very good, and this is truly the chocolate frosting of my dreams. If you want, you can use this right away to frost your cakes. But if you want to pipe it, and this is something that I like doing, I let it chill in the refrigerator for about 30 to 40 minutes. So I'll wrap the frosting with cling wrap, make sure it touches the surface of my frosting, and pop this into the fridge for about 30 to 40 minutes or until it reaches the texture and the consistency that I am looking for. Once you bring it out, you'll see that the chocolate and the butter that we put in firm up, gives your frosting a very good structure, and you'd be able to pipe it easily. I hope you guys will try making this frosting at home, and I'm sure you love it as much as I do. If you end up making it and using it to decorate your cakes and cupcakes, share pictures and don't forget to tag me on my Instagram profile at Shivesh17. I'll see you guys next week with another recipe. Until then, happy baking, take care, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.